welcome back to Bonnie's Yoga. Today we're going to focus on releasing our back. We're really going to be focusing on our lower back, but we'll also work on our mid back and then our upper back, so where our shoulders are. So if you're ready, go ahead and grab a mat, maybe a strap if you'd like, and we'll go ahead and get started. So kind of just take a seat on your mat, cross-legged if you can. Just really sitting up nice and tall, pulling yourself up through the crown of your head, engaging your core, trying to sit up on those sit bones. So you don't want to be here like this. You really want to sit up. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm talking about here. So do you see how my back is going straight up? So I'm not here, I'm also not grounded like this. I'm really sitting up. And this is something that's going to take some time to get the flexibility to move onto your sit bones. But for right now, just think of pulling yourself up, really engaging that core, getting that nice straight back. Go ahead and close our eyes. And as we start to get centered and ready for our yoga flow, I do want to bring a couple of things to your attention. The first one is listen to your body. Yoga is your own personal flow. I'm just here as a guide to recommend different things that you can do throughout your flow. But if anything doesn't feel right for your body, don't hesitate to stop and go into a neutral position. We can come back to the cross-legged seated, you can go into downward facing dog, or anything that you find comfortable. Also, before getting started, please keep in mind that I am not a licensed medical provider, so I can make recommendations, but these are all based on my own personal experiences. I do not have a license, and before starting any new physical activity, always check with your medical provider to make sure that it's something that's going to be safe for you. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Open your eyes. We're going to inhale, arms come up. And then exhale. As you exhale, you're just going to open your arms back up. We'll do that a few more times. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale one more time. This time exhale, hands to heart center. We're just going to take a gentle twist to your left side. So go ahead and twist over to the left. Very gently. Really engage your core. And release back to center. We'll go ahead and inhale, twist to the right side this time. And exhale, release back to center. I'm going to go ahead and release our hands down. You're going to inhale your left hand up and over, planting your right hand down into the mat, bending that elbow slightly as you just stretch over. And one of the main things you're going to focus on here is pushing this side body towards the ceiling. So you're really pushing that side body out. Really take deep inhales and exhales here. One more really big inhale, and exhale. On your next inhale, we're going to switch sides. Inhale up, and then exhale over. towards the sky. So I'm not here, I'm here, pushing it towards the sky. Take a really big inhale. Inhale in through the nose and then exhale. On your next inhale, we're going to go ahead and go up. Exhale. We're going to inhale, arms up, and then exhale. We're just going to forward fold. Planting your hands down into the mat here, or into the floor. And then just really try to release your back. So you're just gently laying yourself over your legs, maybe releasing your head down to the floor. On your next inhale, we'll then inhale, come back up. Exhale. We'll move to our hands and knees. So whatever's comfortable for you, you can maybe rock yourself forward a little bit and then turn so that you're on your hands and knees tabletop pose. For tabletop, you just want to make sure that your shoulders are over your wrists and your hips are over your knees. So what that means is you don't want to be here. This is not good, and you also don't want to have your legs too far out like this. So it's right under, and then try to just make sure you've got a really nice flat back. So here is not good, and then also dropping it down is not good. To just, right now, we're just holding this tabletop. In just a few minutes, we will release our back and start trying to add a range of motion to our hips and our lower back. Alright, we'll go ahead and start to add movement. We're going to start by swaying our hips from side to side. I'm going to turn to the front so you can see what I'm talking about. So you're just swaying your hips from side to side. And if you have any knee pain here, so just since we're on our knees, it's feeling compressed, you can always grab an extra mat, or you can roll up your mat, and I'll demonstrate what that looks like. So you would just fold your mat over and then place your knees on top of that folded section of your mat to give yourself a little bit more cushion underneath your knees. All right, so from here, we're actually going to find stillness. So stop swaying your hips from side to side. Now we're in that tabletop position, and we're gonna release our belly down to the floor, and then shift your gaze up towards the sky. And you're dropping your chest down towards the floor as well. Really just arching that back as much as you can, gazing up towards the sky. You're gonna inhale here. And then as you exhale, pull your core nice and tight. You're gonna round your spine, really push it up towards the sky. Exhale, gaze towards your belly button. We'll go ahead and switch. Drop your belly down. Inhale, gaze up towards the sky. And then exhale, as you exhale, round your spine. Pushing your spine towards the sky. And exhale. Inhale. toes under, pushing your hips up into downward facing dog. Or if it's more comfortable for you to stay on your knees, you can just drop down to your elbows and drop your head down towards the mat, letting your hips stay up towards the sky. We'll hold here in our downward facing dog or the modified downward facing dog. Maybe walking your heels if you're up in the downward facing dog. Maybe grabbing onto your elbows and just swaying your body from side to side. And we'll go ahead and release our arms down towards the mat. We're going to inhale, lift our body halfway up, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now this time, we're going to inhale, bend your knees a little bit as you rise all the way up to standing. And then exhale, hands to heart center. So I'm going to go ahead and move the camera because I know you guys can't really see me all that well. Try to just focus on my reflection because you'll be able to see me a bit better in the reflection. All right, so we're all the way standing. You can drop your hands down to your sides. Close your eyes, let the blood return to your heart. We spent a little bit of time inverted, so we need to let that blood return to our heart. Now we'll go ahead and open your eyes, and then just start to swing your arms from side to side, around your body. Just a little bit, so about hips width apart. Inhale, your arms are going to come up, and then we're just going to exhale. As we exhale, we're going to sit back into our chair pose. Now, a couple of things we really want to focus on here is we don't want to have our back arched up like this. You really want to pull that under, engage your glutes. And it doesn't, you don't have to sit back super far, just sit back a little bit. Another really important thing, I want everyone to look down, see if you can see your toes. If you cannot see your toes, you're going to drop your arms forward and then shift your hips back. Once you can see your toes, because your knees are going to be behind your toes, then you can start working on lifting your arms up. Toes always come first, arms come second. We'll go ahead and release down into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, rise all the way up. Exhale, sitting back into that chair pose again. Check your posture, make sure you can see your toes, make sure that your lower back is not arched. You want to make sure it's tucked under, glutes are engaged. doing now is we're just gonna work on our back flexibility. We're trying to increase to our range of motion in our back. So you're going to arch, this time you're gonna arch your back as much as you can. So really pushing your belly forward, just like the cat-cow that we were doing. Dropping your belly, pushing your chest, and now we're gonna switch, round. All right, open, and close, round. Go ahead and switch, inhale here, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale, exhale. Beautiful job. So go ahead and come up to standing. We'll make our way back down to the floor. Inhale, arms come up. And then you're gonna exhale, just forward fold. You can bend your knees, of course, if you need to, as you forward fold, planting your hands into the mat, and then stepping your feet back into our downward facing dog. Let me reposition my camera again. This is why I need a camera person. All right, so we're in our downward facing dog. Of course, you can drop down here to your knees if you'd like, and just drop to your elbows. Should be feeling quiet and warm here. And we'll go ahead, and if you are in the full downward facing dog, you're gonna drop down to your knees, and then we're gonna come to our tabletop position. You're gonna curl your toes under, just like we did to go up into our downward facing dog, but this time, just sit back onto your heels. So it should be feeling like a nice stretch in your feet, your arches, your toes. And if you can, maybe come all the way up off of your hands, so you're just sitting on your feet, and then we'll work on some wrist stretches. So for the first one, go ahead and extend your left hand out in front of you with your palm, your fingers pointing towards the floor, your palm facing away from you. Take your left, or your right hand, I'm sorry, and use your hand, your right hand, to pull your left fingertips back towards you. Very gently. You don't want to overstretch. Stay up on your toes. You should start feeling it here in your feet if you hadn't already been feeling it. We'll go ahead and switch. So this time, you're gonna instead of your two fingers pointing down towards the floor, your fingers are gonna point up towards the sky, like you're giving somebody a high five. You're gonna pull your fingers back towards you. And go ahead and switch hands. So this time you're stretching out your right hand. We'll go ahead and switch. So your fingers are going to point up towards the sky like you're giving somebody a high five. Grab on to those fingers and just pull them back towards you. After I'm done doing this yoga class with you all, I am going to go get my nails redone, because I'm sure you can see I've got a missing nail here. All right, so this time we're just going to interlace our fingers together and then push our hands out away from us. And release. Go ahead and come down off of your toes. You're going to let your feet go flat onto the tops of your feet. You're going to go flat onto the ground. And we'll relax. So it should feel pretty stretched out with your feet and your toes. All right, we'll go ahead and move back to that tabletop position. You're going to walk your knees out wide. Bring the feet together behind you, and then just sit back onto your feet, dropping your chest down towards the floor. This is our child's pose. You can have your forehead center, or you can just switch from side to side, so laying on one cheek facing one way, and then switch to the other direction. Just make sure you do turn your head in both directions. I'm just going to move so you can see me from the side here. Go ahead and hold that child's pose. It's a great way to release your back. Alright, we'll go ahead and inhale, come forward, and then exhale, just sit back. So inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale, come forward, exhale, sit back. One more time, inhale, come forward, exhale, sit back. Now you're going to inhale, come forward, and then we're going to walk our hands over. This is going to be to the left side for you. Keep your hands planted onto the floor, and then just sit back onto your feet. And you're going to feel this nice side stretch right along the right side of your body. Go ahead and drop your head down towards the mat. And on your next inhale, inhale, come up, walk to center, walk over to the right side, exhale, sit back. Feel that side stretch. On your next inhale, we'll go ahead and inhale, come up, walk back to center, bring your knees back together so that way we're in that tabletop. Your hips are over your knees and your shoulders are over your wrists. So this next posture is going to be a little bit difficult to explain. What you're going to do is you're going to take your right hand, bring it a little bit in more like centered underneath your body. Because you're going to take your right hand, you're going to lift your right hand up towards the sky. So opening up your chest, inhale, and then as you exhale, you're just going to thread the needle. So touch your belly button, go pat like you're rubbing your belly, and then drop down to your left shoulder blade. Your hips are still high, and you're just resting down on that shoulder blade. On your next inhale, we'll unwind. So inhale, you're going to lift that left arm all the way up again. Exhale, down. Switch your hands. This time your left hand is going to be more centered. You're going to inhale up, and then exhale, thread the needle, rub your hand through your belly, and rest down on that right shoulder blade this time. Inhale, we'll go inhale all the way back up. Exhale, down. We'll go ahead and move back to that cross-legged seated position. So you can go ahead and just cross your feet behind you and sit back. Again, sitting up nice and tall. Go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together. This is our butterfly. You're going to grab on to your legs just a little bit above your ankles. As you inhale, you're going to push your chest towards the front and then switch your gaze up towards the sky. So inhale here. And then exhale. As you exhale, round your spine. I'm going to show you what this looks like from the side. So you're rounding your spine. There's some tension in your arms. So you're using your arms to hold you here. But if your arms aren't holding on, you probably fall back onto your back. So hold on to your legs. And then just let your head sway from side to side. Should feel like a really nice stretch in your neck, in your upper shoulder area, your upper back. And we'll go ahead and release, coming back up to center. And what we're going to do from here is you're just going to bring your knees in. So plant your feet onto the floor, just a little bit in front of you. Your knees are in towards your chest. Using your hands to hold onto your knees to pull yourself to make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. And we'll go ahead and release our hands. You're going to take your right foot, or I'm sorry, so the way I'm looking at you, it's going to be your left foot. So you're going to take your left foot up off the ground, put it on top or just a little bit below your right knee. Your hands are going to be on the ground behind you, and you're using your hands to try to push yourself up towards seated, like our upright. So if you're here, that's fine. If you are all the way up, that's even better. That's what our goal is, to try to get all the way up to seated. Should feel like a really good hip stretch here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and release all the way down to the mat. So you can go ahead and use your arms to help you get down to the mat. Once you're here, you're just gonna lift that leg up, bringing it in towards your chest. So we're doing our figure four. Your one hand is gonna go between your legs, the other one is gonna go around, clasping underneath that your thigh, and just pulling that towards you. I'm just going to move so that you can see what we're doing for the next movement, the next posture. All right, so I've got my leg bent and sitting on top of my knee. My arms are grabbing onto my thigh. What I'm going to do is release my hands, and then see this foot. I'm going to let that foot fall towards the ground. My arms are going to open up into a T, and I'm going to keep both of my shoulder blades planted on to the mat. If you'd like, you can always grab onto this knee to help hold it there. And then I'm going to turn my gaze toward opposite of that foot that's touching the ground. All right, we'll go ahead and release. So So just release that foot, maybe pulling your knees into your chest, rocking from side to side. Maybe taking some circular motions if that feels nice. And then we'll go ahead and just roll over onto one side, it doesn't matter which. Then use your hands to help yourself push up to our seated position. We're just gonna do that all on the other side. So we were doing our left leg before, now we're gonna do our right leg. Bring your right leg in, we're gonna start with our knees pulled into our chest, using our arms. Maybe holding onto your knees if you'd like, or putting your hands behind you. Just sitting up nice and tall. I'm gonna hold on to my knees. I feel like I get more of a workout here holding on to my knees. All right, we'll go ahead and release your knees. You're gonna take that right leg, bring it up on top of that, or just a little bit below your right knee. Using your arms behind you to push yourself nice and tall. Maybe you're all the way up here like this. Maybe you're down like this. Whatever is comfortable, as long as you're feeling a nice stretch in your head. So that's just make sure you're feeling that stretch. You want to feel a stretch, but you don't want it to feel like you're working anything. So it's just a very gentle stretch. Alright, we'll go ahead and let this foot fall down towards the floor. You're going to open up your arms into a T, maybe using this hand to grab onto your leg. I'm going to turn so you can see me again from the... So it would be the opposite arm grabbing onto your knee. Help hold it there, and then turn your gaze away from that foot, so whichever is opposite. Bring your knees into your chest one more time. Rock from side to side. Maybe taking another couple of circular motions. Make sure you go in both directions. Just take a couple one way and then switch and go the other way. Now you're going to pull your knees in towards your chest, letting them open up wide. Then reach for either your big toes or maybe the outsides of your feet, maybe just your ankles. This is our happy baby. It's a really good stretch for our lower back, our groin area. So go ahead and roll from side to side here. It'll massage out your back and kind of your upper back, your mid-back section is going to get a bit of a massage here. All right, we'll go ahead and release your feet. Your knees are going to come back into your chest. You're going to extend your legs out, down onto the mat. Straighten them out if that's comfortable. You can always keep your knees bent if you would like, or you can open up into your butterfly. Whatever's comfortable for you. We're going to move into our Shavasana, which is just the relaxation part of our flow. So pick whichever's comfortable. If you have a strap, maybe you'd like to grab that and use that to put over your eyes to block out some light. Once we're here, we'll go ahead and just start to relax every muscle in our body. Starting with your feet, you're going to let them flop out to the sides. Your arms are down by your sides with your palms facing towards the sky, accepting all that positive energy we just created. If you would like to go ahead and stay in Shavasana for a few minutes, you're welcome to go ahead and pause the video, or you can always come back to Shavasana and just take a couple of minutes to just relax. But from here, as we come out of our Shavasana, you're going to pull your knees in and then just roll over to one side, resting your arm, or you're resting your face on your arm. Then we're going to use our hands to push up into that seated position. We'll take one more really big inhale all together. Inhale, arms come up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. I hope that you were able to find some peace and relaxation and letting go of some of that stress that you might have in your lower back. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me or just post a comment down below. I'd love to hear feedback. Otherwise, thank you for joining me. I look forward to our next flow. Namaste.